doing this thing that each brand new person needs to do. And I'm sort of curious to see if there's anything in this lesson that you need to do now, because you've cured, let's say you cured Epstein-Barr and herpes, right?
Yeah, cold flus. I was realizing today I've cured a lot of other things that weren't diagnosed. Like I prevented cancers, and I prevented a lot of things that was headed towards fibromyalgia.
How old are you?
I'm 51. I'll be about to be 52.
So you're at the age where you might have actually gotten cancer. And when you say, I prevented cancer. I was getting prostate cancer when I was in my 40s. And I had prostate problems right till I discovered this. And that disappeared within a year or two after I started doing this.
Likewise, I felt things in my breast that disappeared.
Uh-huh.
And ran in my family, and I had heart problems. I could tell it was on my way for that too. Addictions, all sorts of things.
Well, what Keely said is that she had this tendency to fibrocystic breasts, and she worked on it for a few months and went back and got a negative mammogram, and no more tendency to fibrocystic breasts.
Right.
So now, with that as our preface, I'm going to actually, you're not going to be able to see this, but the people on the screen, I want them to see it. So I'm going to move this into the screen, which is sort of half covering your face, and this is on the the website. It's on the skill for brand, the text tutorial for brand new people, and it's called Some Pitfalls. So it's a lesson about pitfalls.
Okay, good.
And I'm going to get this out of your face now, and I'm going to read these things to you.
Okay.
And we'll see, if you test on any of them.
I'm sure I will.
It starts out, I just want to read what it says. It says, when you first succeed with Immunix, your troubles are just beginning. That's how this thing starts. And I think that for a lot of people, failure follows success. And there's a lot of people who can't get a signal, and once they start getting a signal, they feel like they're home free, and then when they fail, they just decide, well, it doesn't work, or it doesn't work for them, and they don't realize that they fell into some kind of trap. So I want you to get ready to test, and I'm going to read these out to you. And these are the pitfalls in this lesson. Doesn't mean they're the only ones. One pitfall is thinking that you can access what you need to know. Do you need to do anything with that?
Yeah, so I got this big should in my mind. Like I think I should be able to. Like I have this idea about myself. Maybe, like you said, it's based on being one of the, that I've been doing this for so long and all that. But yeah, I get test yes for that, and on top of that, that I had this idea. I've had this idea that's also a pitfall that I should be able to. At this level, I should be able to know my way through, and then and often do yet.
And sometimes you just can't.
Yeah, I just realized that recently that I just don't always have access to the information, or I'm just I just can't, and I have to surrender to what's happening around me and just let it feel the right until the time to test again occurs, or the thing that I need to know will appear again. But there's a place where I can hang out in the not knowing. That hasn't been easy for me recently. That's good. Control.
These things have little underlines next to them, and if you click on them, it's the thinking you can access what you need to know has an entire lesson on it. You won't, because it says here, you won't think to ask what you urgently need to know. You just won't think to ask for it. The things that you ask about won't be what you need to know. They'll be something that you feel like you can accept. The things that you need to know, everybody needs coaching. Everybody who does this needs coaching.
Yeah.
Every last person, because they just don't see themselves. Nobody does. None of us do.
Well, I think, like I said, again, at my level, I see myself, but there are still places I'm not willing to ask, or I have trouble, like, allowing other people to see or to know that I see. And it's ego. It's an ego issue. Or I'm not, like I said, I'm not willing to know something, or I don't want to know something. I don't want to have the future be closed or the situation be closed.
Right. Well, I'm going to put this in front of the screen just for a minute so they won't be able to see your face, just so they can see this thing is underlined. This is a link, and it goes to Pitfall, thinking you can access what you need to know, and then it tells you a little something about it. Okay, let's do the next one. And obviously what you're doing here is you're learning some things about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the Pitfalls lesson is about. People, when people start getting signals, they have to learn about themselves and get wise to themselves. People who aren't onto themselves will not stay cured. You know, like a person can cure their cancer, but then 3 years later they can die of cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't you think there's constantly things that you get to a state of cure forever, whatever that means for each of us, and then...
Well, it means a negative medical test. The person will get a negative medical test, and you know what they do? They discharge themselves from the hospital. They say, okay, I don't need to do this anymore. I got my negative medical test now. And 3 years later, they got their, positive coffin test. And they're,
That's what I mean. It's like things, then life takes hold, and then the same thing that took them out the first time takes them out. Like they didn't really do their homework to study. I can see this in my own experience, to study what it is that takes you off balance in life, or to a disease state, or not happy state. Because I still get my life. Like life keeps coming at you, and then if you don't handle it properly, you'll have something you need to cure. And I'd rather be in a state where I don't have anything to cure.
Well, here's the next one, which we go right into, which is thinking you can or should be able to do it all for yourself. Test if that one is...
I'll say it again, sorry.
Thinking that you can or even should do it all for yourself.
Oh, yeah, I'll totally have that.
Okay. Let me just do the next one. Thinking that what you access is true. Do you get a signal on that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pitfall. These signals you're getting are not true, they're just real. It just means there's something there. It's not a truth.
Cool. I mean, not cool, but
So we have. I'm going to just show on the screen here. When you see this later, when you're looking at this, there's this very long list, and I think that a person who's brand new to this could spend a couple of days looking down this list, and that's what I want you to do. After this meeting with me, I want you to go into the accessing skills link right to the home page. I'm going to show how to get there, which is, if I'm going to go backwards, which is, here's this page, and all you would do is just go back to, there's the table of contents with its accompanying movie, and here is the home page with its accompanying movie.
You never learn this now. This is your,
and
you don't even know actually what we're going to do.
That's how you get to this lesson.
sometimes I think I'll never catch on.
What'd you say?
Sometimes I think I'll just never catch on properly.
Well, I'll tell you what. As far as thinking that you should be able to do it all yourself, next time you have a friend over, do this lesson with your friend. Or next time you go over, which I'm sure will be tomorrow, next time you're with a friend, do this lesson with that friend. Just sit down to spend 10 minutes with your friend. We've only been doing this for about 10 minutes.
All right, well.